Hi, we are at Exel Holding. Exel Holding has a new tile partner called Nexion. It's an Italian product. Come, let's go and have a look at what they have to offer. Hi, we are at Exel Holdings to talk with Luca, their new brand, Nexion. Welcome, Luca, to Sri Lanka.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. So, Luca, what do you think about Sri Lanka?
Well, it is a very interesting experience. I'm coming back here after 40 years. I was here with my mom when I was young, accompanying her in a history trip. And I came back after 40 years. I remember from that time mostly the culture, the food, the historical places. The city I cannot tell. And Colombo, my feeling, is a very interesting place because it sounds to me a little bit, it looks like something in between the West and the East and the Far East. I mean, I'm used at traveling in India, in Thailand, in Indonesia. These are very, very crowded cities, while these cities has the kind of order that we usually find in Western cities. The city is clean. It is clear that people care about where they live. There is a sense of responsibility for the common good. But at the same time, the colors I see and the kind of buildings are similar to the other Asian countries. So it's a little bit of a mix of West and East that is quite fascinating.
So, Luca, what do you think, thinking about that environmental friendly and comparing with other countries, how Nexion will be helped to Sri Lankan market?
Well, first of all, this is a country where you live intertwined with nature, okay? And your nature is a natural nature, so humans have not done much there. If you go to Europe, to Italy, for instance, and you go to the hills of Tuscany and our villages, it is a man-made nature. So we have worked for hundreds of years to actually create what we see in terms of gardens, in terms of woods, and so on. Here is the nature in its own environment, let's say. I guess this brings a lot. For instance, people here likes to have that the nature from the outside goes inside the building. You have this beauty country courthouse and all these things. What we can bring to this, well, it's something that we always think about when we open a new market. What we do actually in Nexion is that we try to create surface materials that are beautiful. So when you create floors, when you get walls, a facade, a podium, a path, a patio, basically this should be beautiful from the aesthetical perspective. The floor is a very important part of a house, for instance, a wall, because if it is not nice, the only thing you can do is cover with a carpet or with furniture. So it's a big responsibility, for instance, for architects to design a beautiful place of the right technical performance, because this is a very humid environment. There is a lot of sun, and so the quality of the materials must be very high so that they don't deteriorate over time. They can be easily cleaned. So I would say aesthetics and performance goes hand in hand.
Luca, can you please tell me about yourself and why you are here?
Oh, yeah. Well, I am one of the founders of this company that was created. The idea came at the beginning of the 2010. It was 2012, 2013. I visited India, and we had a company at that time that had been doing ceramic products for 60 years, and we were top designers in terms of quality and design. Our company was the top in the market. And we were very strong in Europe and in the US. We decided we wanted to have something in this part of the world, and we created Nexion together with a visionary Indian entrepreneur. It's a sort of, let's say, the model of the company is very similar to Apple. Basically, we have the design and all the marketing, and also the decision about the production technology is in Italy, like Apple is designing Cupertino in California. And then we manufacture in Gujarat, in India, where we have built our own plant. So the difference with Apple is that Apple does not own the factories in China that make the iPhones, but we own the factory because we want to control
That's
the quality.
like design in California, made in China.
Exactly, we design in Italy, we define the technologies. All our machinery, for instance, is from Italy. All the raw materials are from Italy, apart from the clay, that is from Rajasthan. So basically we keep a full control, even more than Apple actually does with their own phones. Also because a phone is a different kind of product you have to assemble, while producing a slab is much more difficult because it is not, let's say, you don't have computers that can do that. You need people running machines. So we decided to establish the manufacturing there because that was the only way to produce at a price, at a cost that is consistent with what people in this part of the world can afford. European products are very expensive. And the second, the service, because we are closer to the market, we learn from the market, and we can service more quickly, in particular projects.
So Luca, why? What I have heard and research was like Nexion is very famous in most of the countries. What's the main reason?
Well, first of all, we built the company since the very beginning with a strong focus on architects. So this allowed us actually to communicate who we are and what we do in a more targeted way. And see, this is part of the reason why we are well known in the architects community. For instance, if you go in India, that is a huge market. If you go to Mumbai, then Bangalore, Chennai, or Hyderabad or Delhi, most of the architects know us personally over the years. We have offices across the countries, and we work with them a lot, both in their own events and working on projects. So this has built a reputation, but the reputation always is built on facts. Okay, so that's a good idea, but then what are the facts? The facts are that we give products that other companies don't give. So our strategy has always been not to do the same thing that others do, but to try to have our own way of designing, of researching. There is a lot of research in our company. A collection might last 9 months from the idea till the implementation of the idea, that is the manufacturing of the product. And so this is a very special way in which we design things. Well, architects love because it is more sophisticated, it gives more options to them, and that's what builds the reputation.
So Luca, like you said, factories in India. So what's the sustainability plan and what are the guidelines you guys are following?
Well, sustainability is a complicated topic for people doing manufacturing because naturally you consume fossil fuels such as gas and you generate CO2, all these things. So there are several things. First of all, the technology that we use is highly energy efficient. So we generate much less CO2 than other, well, basically almost all other factories. Because for instance, we reuse the heat coming out of the kiln as a byproduct to dry the tiles before firing. So this creates a circular thing. We actually recycle all the wastage. For instance, all the byproducts that we have from the production, we resell to people who actually reuse these byproducts to make other things. So it's a sort of circular economy. The other point is that on the product itself, the product is a very high quality one, so it is highly durable, meaning that the lifetime of the product is longer, and given that the lifetime is longer, basically you have less of, let's say, garbage of things that have to be recycled later on. The other element is sustainability from the perspective of health. So our products the surface does not allow fungi to develop bacteria, all these things. So it's very easy to clean and very safe, for instance, for kids or for you to stay on. And finally, it is a social sustainability because the idea of the company is to bring beauty into the lives of people. So if you live in a place or work in a place that is nice and beautiful aesthetically, what we know from history, and you have a very long history here about that, is people has a better mood, feels better, well-being is promoted, and also the social stability is there, because if you live in a beautiful place, basically you are not aggressive as a person, you are in peace with yourself. If you live in a very ugly place, like for instance the Los Angeles or Blade Runner movie, then you become aggressive, then you become social and stable. So the sustainability is actually a very broad concept that goes from environment down to society.
Right. So, Luca, can you please explain about your product in detail? Like, why should a Sri Lankan should buy your product?
Well, like anybody else, okay? Well, I think there are two main drivers, two main requirements a person might have. One is the aesthetics, because anyway, we create with these products our floors, our walls, our facades, our external places, and we want a certain aesthetics. Okay, it can be more natural like a stone, can be more, let's say, concrete-like, it can be a wood, piece of wood, can be a piece of marble, something like that. Okay, and then you want a performance. So you want that this material performs in terms of durability, in terms of stain resistance, in terms of slip resistance, in the way you need given the specific applications. So we have developed our collections around these two dimensions. We have different aesthetics and we have different performances.
Luca, what's the mechanism of making something like this?
Okay, in this specific case, this is a surface material that is inspired by a natural material, that is a statuary marble, okay? So there are basically two things to consider. One is the way we design it, and the other one is the way we manufacture it, okay? Both are important. The way we designed is that we never copy nature. So we don't think that, even the technology allows, we never take a high resolution, higher definition picture of a natural piece of marble and just print on a support to sell, because this will look fake. It is what most of the companies do actually, but we never did since the very beginning of Nexion. So what we do is we go around the quarries, we select pieces of stone, of natural marble, and then from that, with the process of abstraction, we take out the features we believe work on an artificial product, and then we create the thing. In particular, when we think of a glossy finish like this one, so where there is a reflection, what we decided to do is basically to give to this reflection a mirror-like effect, because this is not existing in nature. So if you take natural marble, even the best possible piece, and you polish, you cannot achieve a mirror-like thing, because by nature, the surface of the marble has a little bit of orange peel effect, okay, if it is intense light. So we decided to create an effect that is not available in nature, because it is an option, another option for an architect. For instance, imagine you are in a building, residential building, and you are getting out of the elevator. If you put, for instance, something like this in a darker color that we have, basically you will reflect yourself, the person behind you, and what is in the elevator, like in a mirror, opening the space and giving a sense of luxury. This is something you cannot do with natural marble. So you have also to take this approach. When the design is done, the other thing is to decide which kind of technical characteristics you must have. So if we look at a residential building, if you look at a commercial, basically there are three main things that are important. One is how durable is the material to scratches, because especially the finishes that are polished might slightly scratch over time, while there is the same design in other surfaces that basically is absolutely scratch resistant. So this can be used in a high traffic, this can be used in a living room. The second element that is important in particular where water is present, can be a bathroom, a pool deck, is the slip resistance. And again, you can have this material in different levels of slip resistance. For instance, in Europe, if you are in a pool deck of a hotel, they ask for the maximum slip resistance that is in the German standard R12. Normally, a consumer asks for his own bathroom R9 or R10. That is less because they prefer to have smoother surfaces. Okay? So this is the second important requirement. The last one is cleanability. That is also a matter of durability. We have a lot of carries here, we have a lot of colors. And what is good of these surfaces is that given it is very high quality, the surface is absolutely non-porous. And being non-porous, there is no possibility for the stain to stick. Okay? So this can be easily washed out by just water, a little bit of soap. Rarely requires more deep cleaning. That is something that you have to consider, for instance, in the lobby of a hotel. Every 6 months, if you have chosen a color that is, say, a light beige or something like that, it looks getting a little bit darker over time. It's nothing permanent, it's just that the powder has deposited and a normal fast cleaning is not doing that. There are detergents that we can advise to use that make the cleaning without creating any issue to the surface, and you have a brand new floor every 6 months. You do that and it comes back to the first day.
Right. So Luca, using bigger tiles and smaller tiles, is there a difference or is there a benefit? What's the comparison with?
Well, the advantage of using larger slabs is mostly the aesthetics, okay? Because basically, if imagine that you cut this slab, this is 1.2 meter by 2.4 meter. So you can cut in 4 pieces of 2 by 4. But when you lay down these 4 pieces, you create a random pattern. This might not be as pleasant aesthetically than the whole. So usually people places this both on floor and wall, because the larger the image, the better the look. This is a little bit a difference from natural marble, because natural marble, we like the variation from one piece of marble to the other. It's part of the beauty of the material, but because it is a natural material, okay? In natural material, if there are any inconsistency, we accept, because we are used at the randomness of nature. But with artificial material, it's not the same. If I have my phone and I have a scratch on my phone, I want to change the phone. If I have an old piece of wood and a table made by this wood in my house, even if there are scratches, I don't care. Yeah. And here is the same. So I would say that this large size is mostly because it is more beautiful. Okay.
Okay. So Luca, when it's come to design, what's the difference between your designs and the other in the market?
Well, what we try to do is that, we discussed it before about beauty, yeah. Okay? Now, beauty is the sum of the details. So when we step back from this image, basically we see a number of different these small veins here, these different patches here, and this vein with colors here and there. Now, the point is that if you look at the products usually in the market, this vein would be monochromatic. So it might be either a light beige or a white, but without all the details. Here, so if you go closer, you see how many different colors you have in this vein. And this richness of colors is actually make the whole looking more natural. Now, the reason why people usually don't do that is because it's very expensive. It's very expensive in terms of the time you need to create these subtle elements, because you cannot take the picture of the marble and then replicate, because that would look fake, but you have to adjust to this material the kind of colors. And then you need also the production capability to do that. So you need, for instance, digital machines with all the colors. You need a production process that is capable to keeping the balance that the designer has created, okay? So basically it's a matter of time, cost, effort. So most of the companies who actually have in their own portfolio products that cost, let's say, little money, they cannot afford this. We try to cater another segment of the market. So if the price is your only concern, probably this product is not good for you. But if you want to find a good balance between the beauty, quality, and the cost, basically, and you accept a little bit a higher price because you are getting more quality, then this is a product you can consider. It's like, you have an Italian watch. It's like that. Basically, if cost is the only thing you want from your watch, okay, there is a certain market. But you are considering the beauty and the elegance and also the durability of the watch, you go higher up on the ladder, and of course the prices will be different.
If you see the stains are like more natural and more elegant.
Yeah, our benchmark is somebody looking from this from a couple of meters, and they cannot really say whether this is natural marble or artificial. Apart from the glossy product, where there is this mirror-like effect that clearly is artificial because the natural marble cannot give you. But when the surface is matte, actually we want people to ask the question: is this natural or is this a slab? Is a ceramic porcelain slab? Okay. That's our benchmark.
So Luca, your new product is ombre, right? So can you explain about ombre, why people should buy ombre?
Yeah. Well, this is the latest generation of something that actually started a few years ago with the 3D textures that were launched in 19, sorry. And then we had Riga in 2024 and Ombre in 2025. The whole idea of this material is that it is done manually. So the design is actually creating with your hands this kind of textures, okay? We have dots, we have crosses, we have shapes, we have fabric-like. So first we do artifacts like artisans, and we create many of them. We make in big sizes so we can have a look, and when we get something that we like with a lot of the imperfection of the human hand, some of these shapes are deeper, some of these shapes are only just subtle, then when we have something that we like, that is the longest part of the design process, then we use a high resolution scanning to take exactly the geometry. Then we take, in a company in Italy that specializes in that, they can make, they take an ultra hard rubber band, carpet, that is 1.2 by 4.8 meters. And with a laser, we engrave the negative. Then we put this on a belt and with a very big press that is capable of imprinting in the material, this one, in a 1.2 by 4.8 meter size, we create the slabs. And then we fire, and then material becomes up to the ultra hard. You can use on floor, you can use on wall, cannot be started. It's actually a stone, okay? This is physically is a stone. There is no glaze, there is no ink, it is just a material, it's a completely full body stuff that you can use.
Right, so like you said, this is pressed and burned for 2 hours.
Pressed and fired, yeah.
For 2 hours, and you will get a stone, something like that.
You will get what is physically a stone, so it has the hardness, there is no water absorption, no porosity, nothing. And it's a material that interacts also with the light, because as maybe during the day the light changes enter into your window, or you are in an outdoor, basically the material is very lively and has all the imperfection of the human hands. So there is no computer design here. It is all made by hand. That I think is a very interesting element.
Right. So like you said, Luca, the partnership with Exel and your company, why you guys choose Exel?
Well, being able to communicate to architects in particular, the beauty of these things, how can they be used, the technical performance requires a skill. Okay, so we are very, very selective in hiring, let's say, in creating partnerships with our distributors around the world. We have, apart from the ones that we have in India, we have 400 dealers in India, but we have from Australia to the US, and we usually work with companies who are capable of explaining this material, capable to give the right information and service to architects, and Exel actually was our choice here.
If people want to buy Nexion, like then people will come to Exel to buy. So what's the final message you have to give to the public?
Well, give yourself time. There are many things here. Don't rush too quickly in looking at things. Each of these designs have to be understood and studied. So if an architect, for instance, comes here, there are tools that we can use, such as binders, such as loose pieces that we can use in order to show the things. But the most important thing is then look at the whole slab, because the perception we have of the whole thing in the whole size is different than looking at pieces like this. And the second element, give yourself time to look at the details, to try to learn. It's like when you visit a museum and you see paintings or artifacts. If you just go a couple of seconds, yes, you have a feeling you like, you don't like, but is this a material for me? Is this material for my project? That requires a little bit more time, and trust the Exel team, who will tell you what is the story behind the product, how can be used, what are the different surfaces that you have. We have 7 different surfaces. Each of them is for a specific usage in terms of application, in terms of durability and traffic and so on. So this is, I think, is my message, because selecting the right surface material for the floor, in particular where projects are not only driven by cost, but there is an objective in terms of aesthetics that is together with the budget, then give yourself the time.
Come and have a visit at Exel and talk to their salespeople and have a look, just have a touch, feel the difference between the tiles in the market, and take your time like Luca said and purchase whatever the tile you want from Exel. Thank you.
Thank you.